Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video about warships, and boys, we have some newest ships that Wargaming has just announced, in which we have a battleship, Royal Sovereign at tier 7, that has not only have access to short-range hydroacoustic search, which kind of works like daring, but also it's one of the first battleship that has access to submarine surveillance. Who would have thought that Wargaming will come up with a submarine surveillance in a battleship? Well, I have thought about that because I always say that submarines are a problem in this game, and the premium ships, so that they will earn more money, they want to make a game mechanic integrated into premium such that they will be able to give you guys a solution against submarines. And here it is. If someone hates submarines from a secondary battleship perspective, because this is more focused towards secondary battleship, sort of like it has improved secondaries, whatever, it has also submarine surveillance, 6 kilometer of range, and also you have short hydro, which means that you can also spot submarines within 2 kilometers permanently as long as your hydro is running. So you can push and can fight against even submarines as well as cruisers as well as battleship with your secondaries. So you do have a lot of gimmicks going on for it. The weakness, however, Wargaming has given is the lack of HP. At tier 7, 48,000 is definitely onto the lower side. But still, I think that it's sort of a very interesting battleship with these gimmicks to begin with. I wonder what it's gonna be for, like in terms of the resource. Either we will see it only for money, which I believe this might be, but we will find out eventually. But this is a secondary focused battleship. As you can see here, secondaries boasting a higher rate of fire compared to the ship peers, and main battery guns armed with typical Royal Navy approved HE shells. We all know that Conqueror style HE shells which have insane penetration and good fire chance, and having hard hitting HE shells. So, and also having secondaries. It is slow, however, at 22 knots, and that's kind of makes me feel sad because that has reduced the appeal to me like quite a bit. But even then, I'm interested in this ship. Let's see what this will come for. Also, basically the same thing as with the Royal Sovereign. Like, it's almost the same, except maybe with a change of camo. Maybe I might need to check a couple of some ship parameters here and there in terms of its design scheme. But the Arkhangelsk, I don't know, Arkhangelsk, that is completely bad. I'm so sorry, guys. I have completely messed up with the pronunciation. But this is the tier 7 upcoming Soviet battleship, which is more focused on long range. It's basically just like I said, same ditto copy of Royal Sovereign, but having the very good accuracy like 1.9 sigma, and also I would say good accuracy. Not having the Russian DCP. And I would say the repair party. The repair party is normal. The DCPs are not Russian, so it's not going to be having 40 seconds of cooldown time. But your equipment is going to be unlimited, which is something that I like. However, they said that the plating is vulnerable. 16mm is a weaker plating. But honestly, at tier 7, even a 26mm plating that the Royal Sovereign gets will be overmatched by 380mm guns. So it does not really matter if it does have 16mm plating. But well, it's still a weakness by Wargaming standards regardless, but it does have good sigma value. I wonder if it does have battle cruiser dispersion. I don't know. They have said it somewhere. I have not seen that, but it does have, again, the same parameters like 48,000 HP, basically the same copy paste sort of Royal Sovereign in a different Soviet taste. You're just gonna get cooked. There's no way. Tier 10, Laffey. Yes, now this destroyer has some of the aspects of a super destroyer, which is the gearing tier 11. I don't exactly remember the name. Like, why I just forget the name? Let me check that. Oh yeah, I remember the name. That is the Joshua Humphreys. Well, the Joshua Humphreys has the gimmick of F key. The Laffey seems to be having the same F key gimmick. It also have completely interesting, I would say, stats. Like, if I just go to the stats quickly, this destroyer Laffey basically has 6 guns. The shells are basically like that of gearing, Like, this is basically a gearing with, again, 6 guns. The reload time, base reload time, is better than gearing at 2.8 seconds. Which is interesting, but here comes the very interesting thing. The F key. It has the alternate firing mode that you find on the Joshua Humphreys, and you are getting this at tier 10, which is interesting to say the least. 25 seconds of reload time, 1 second of burst interval, which can be reduced obviously if you just reduce the reload time with the reload mod and the captain skills. So you will have a very, very good destroyer that can just burst like, I would say, Alvaro de Bazan. We're getting American Alvaro de Bazan with having very short range torpedoes. Unfortunately, very short, like 8 kilometers are basically, if there's a battleship that is like pushing hard like crazy, then you can send these torpedoes with very high 140 seconds of reload time. So the torpedoes are kind of nerfed because of the gimmicks that it gets in return, like the F key. Not sure if it does justify that bad range, because 8 kilometers seems to be very, very low. 10 kilometers seems to be minimum for tier 10. But, well, that's what it is. And then here comes the very interesting thing. In the consumables and anti-defense. In the anti-defense, it's one of the first of its own kind. This destroyer, Laffey, is one of the first on its own kind that has a defensive fire. Now, that is not unique, but what is unique is, look at the continuous average AA damage. 200%. That is 3 times than the normal average AA damage, continuous AA damage. Now, this is a big boost. This is like any other boost we have seen for American destroyers. Like, for example, if we take a look at Forrest Sherman. Forrest Sherman also have improved continuous average AA damage. That is 100%. We have seen that in even the hull. That also have 100%. You have now 200%. Usually the defensive fire gives the bonus of 50%. Okay, that is not only more than 100%, but also more than 150%. 200% is a big jump. But however, I am kind of unimpressed with the anti-defense numbers. The anti-defense numbers, the medium, long range, and short range, are basically, I would say, below average. Like, this entire numbers are unfortunately not that good enough. So basically what that means, if you don't have defensive fire, you're going to be getting wrecked by CVs like all the other destroyers usually. Like, for example, the Goering, the Shimakaze, they just take so much damage. The Hayate, like, the A damage numbers are pretty unimpressive. Like, it's really not that good at all. But the moment you put anti-defense consumable defensive fire, you will spike your AA damage to 3 times, if I am not wrong. 200%, that is like, if this continuous damage goes 300, this will go to 180, this will go to 300 as well. So that is a big jump. So a CV started to take massive cost on their planes. The plane's loss will most likely going to be real if you have defensive fire. So make sure once you get the ship, maybe at some point, this defensive fire, use it, because it's going to help you a lot. Oh, also one more thing, that it has the repair party like that of Hull. Yeah, Hull repair party, yeah. So it does have these specialized repair teams. Basically works exactly like Hull, if I'm not wrong, like on Khabarovsk, like on Hull. So improved healing capacity. So that is very good. Like, it's making this destroyer very tanky as well. And also you do have smoke generator, which is again another gimmick. Very interesting gimmick. Now, the upcoming destroyer, the SAP and HE based destroyer, are coming in World of Warships. They have announced the tech tree line of the newest American destroyer line. Well, that line has a smoke gimmick, a unique smoke gimmick, and this premium destroyer has that same unique smoke gimmick, like in the upcoming new tier 10 destroyers. So it's gonna be having, like, you basically can able to turn off and on your smoke at any point. It's like your will to smoke up and will to smoke down. This is sort of a button that you get. Like, you have a smoke generator button that can turn on and off. which is like kind of crazy, right? This is like a very interesting gimmick, and it does have this. So a lot of gimmicks along with the defensive air fire gimmick and the F key gimmick, like it's the gimmick of the gimmicks in this ship that they are coming up with this Laffey. So I don't know. It seems to be interesting because of these gimmicks, but we will eventually find out. I want to just share you guys, like, what do you think about this? Your range is also decent, 12.4, but I don't think so anyone will build more than that. The shells are those of gearing, and gearing shell arcs are like pretty much like rain falling. Like the arcs of the shells are pretty terrible after 10 or 11 kilometers. So yeah. Now comes the another battleship, the Sibir. Now they have not shown us like the Laffey, the design and look, but eventually they will. So the Sibir is the Kremlin. It's another tier 10 Kremlin, which also having less armor plating, the deck armor. Like they have explained everything, that a more secondary focus take on Kremlin. It having secondary battery improvement. Basically, Smolensk secondaries. If I can show you, this is the secondary armament, 130 millimeters. The guns, 7.7 kilometers, so it can go up to more than 11 kilometers or something. 3 seconds of reload time. Smolensk secondary strapped on Sibir, Kremlin HP, but having like the deck plating thickness, so it's less than Kremlin. So it's most likely going to be 32 millimeter plating like that of Slava, or 50 millimeter plating. I don't know. I think it's going to be more like Slava. We will eventually find out like what they are talking about. They have not exactly stated the number, so that is interesting. But however, what is interesting in this battleship is the F gimmick. Once again, like we're just seeing gimmicks. At this point, there are just so many gimmicks that it's kind of funny and not good at the same time. That where are we headed at this point in game? Like look at this. We have the F key. You have the worst dispersion than Kremlin. Your sigma is 0.1 less than Kremlin. I think this is the pretty much battleship dispersion that we are looking at right now. But this is the sigma parameter, like 0.1 less. But now it's getting is something that if you use secondaries constantly, if you are hitting the secondary shells onto the enemy ships, you will get the F key ready, and that's going to give you main battery shell dispersion by minus 20%. So it's going to be having insanely good dispersion at close ranges. Now I wonder if they are because it does have a DCP which is normal. As you can see, it does not have the Soviet DCP. It also does not have the normal repair party, believe it or not. It has a very, very unique repair party than anything we have seen in World of Warships. Like the most unique repair party than ever. Now they are coming up with that. But since Sibir is even more configured for close range engagements, I believe that this will have the Kremlin or Soviet dispersion. The more closer to the ships that you are, the better that dispersion. But with also this F key, which improves the main battery shell dispersion by minus 20%. And the action time is also very interesting. It has 33 seconds of action time. And guess what? The reload time is also 33 seconds. So once you start to take some damage from or the adrenaline rush started to kick in from the commander skills, obviously your reload time will go lower. And if you even use the main battery mod, the reload time improvement, it will go down to 29 seconds, which means that you can have 2 times the shots onto the enemy ships within that activation. So you can have like two times main battery shell dispersion improvement activation effect on that F key that's lasting for 33 seconds. So like two times, not 1 time, which is also interesting. Repair party, let's talk about the repair party. The anti-defense is basically like Kremlin and Slava. Nothing to be very special. It does not have a defensive air fire, which is unfortunate. I would love to see a Sibir having defensive air fire. I would have loved to see that, but they haven't done that, so that's unfortunate. But however, they are coming up with the very interesting gimmick on the repair party. Now notice you have the usage time of 80 seconds, the minimum usage time of 14 seconds, which kind of reminds me of the smoke gimmick that Wargaming is coming up with, the Laffey. This destroyer, the Laffey. This destroyer has the smoke gimmick which you can turn on and off. Similarly, if you can turn on and off your smoke, that's what I want to say, you can turn on and off your repair party. But the most confusing thing is how many equipments, or I would say the consumables of the repair party we will get like these ones. Like in this case, we have a total usage of 80 seconds. The minimum usage is 14 seconds. So you can just use for 14 seconds and then you can just turn off that repair party. Do not heal me more. But however, we will have a cooldown after 80 seconds, and HP per second that you can heal per second, I would say, is 541. And if we just multiply 80 seconds with 541 HP per second, which is, I would say, very, very low. Let me just use the calculator. 80 seconds multiplied by 541. That is only 43,000 HP that you can heal. Like total repair party usage is 43,000. Now I really wonder if we will getting the extra repair party from the captain skills, and that's why we will only going to have one heal. And then, by the way, we're also going to have another heal from the captain skills, which is from the improved repair party readiness. So if for example, this is a one repair party that lasts for 80 seconds, for example, now we multiply it with 3 because we will have 2 from the captain skills. So it started to make more sense that we might have only one repair party in this case. Only one repair party, and you will get extra repair party from the captain skills, the 4th pointer, and the extra heal from the 2 million potential damage if you tank improved repair party readiness. So that makes sense. But we will eventually find out. So this is Sibir, a secondary focused Kremlin, which also comes up with unique gimmicks and FK. And also we have the Hildebrand at tier 10, but with literally a French cruiser design. It's basically like we have captured the German hybrid O-class battle cruiser, and they have just slapped those French guns and anti-aircraft on top of that. Like, this is Hildebrand, but this tier 10. So basically this is a copy-paste Hildebrand. They haven't shown the design, the looks of how it's going to be look like, this French cruiser. But as you can see, the ship parameters, you do have 6 guns. And I think they have put the Marseille guns at the top of the Hildebrand hull. Range is, I would say, improved, something like that. I think that these are Marseille guns, or I don't remember. I don't exactly remember. But the alpha damage seems to be lower. The Marseille has better alpha. So it's pretty weird. Like, are these German guns? Because 330mm guns, if these are French guns, the alpha shouldn't be that much. But anyways, what they are giving us is the repair party, engine boost, and the planes. Skip bombers. The HE skip bombers, they're having 10 planes per squadron. The reload time is 270 seconds, which you can reduce obviously. But now we have HE skip bombers instead of those HE dive bombers that you find on Hildebrand. And it does not have access to torpedo bombers that you were annoyed with the Hildebrand. So it's basically a better sort of a balanced version of hybrid. Amiral Lartigue, I don't know. Lartigue, I would say. Admiral Lartigue. I hope I just pronunciate that right. But yeah, a Hildebrand with skip bombers and the guns that are French ones. We will eventually see. So these are the gimmicks that UrAvgWarGaming has added. Another copy-paste ship. Unfortunate reality. And then the older ships with their designs ready. As you can see, visual designs are ready with their camouflages, including this submarine. So this is this whole devlog. I hope you get the point. I hope you get the gimmicks, tons of gimmicks that UrAvgWarGaming has added. Please let me know, guys, what do you think. I think these are interesting ships with the crazy gimmicks. We will literally eventually see that what they will be adding more in the game in the later part. But it seems like UrAvgWarGaming love the F key, and they will be making more ships like these in future. Till then, peace out.